A. Someshwari, Physical Science CRT, KGBV Peddamodium, Kadapa district. Today I will discuss the 9th class Physical Science third chapter Is Matter Pure? Is matter pure? You might have gone to the market many times with your parents to purchase rice, salt, milk, ghee, and other provisions. You must have tried to ensure that you got the purest possible milk and pure ghee and etc. In our daily to day languages, pure means something which no adulteration, but in chemistry pure means something different. Matter is two types. First one pure substances and second one mixer. Pure substances is two types. First one element and compounds. Mixture is two types. First one homogeneous mixtures and heterogeneous mixtures. Pure substance is two types in first one elements. Elements is can't be broken into simpler substances. For example, copper, oxygen, iron, hydrogen, mercury and etc. Compound is have fixed composition, can be broken down into elements by chemical or electrochemical reactions. For example, water, methane, sugar, salt and etc. Mixtures is two types. Homogeneous mixtures is uniform composition. For example, sugar in water, salt in water, sulfur in carbon sulfide, water in alcohol and etc. Heterogeneous mixtures non-uniformal composition. For example, sand and salt, sugar and salt, water in oil and etc. See the picture, student. Pure substances and mixtures. Pure substances and mixtures. Pure substances is a substance which consists of a single types of substances. Example, iron, copper, hydrogen, oxygen, water, sugar, common salt and etc. And second one, mixture is a substance which consists of two or more pure substances. Example, sea water, minerals, soil, air, sand and salt, sugar in water, salt in water and etc. Difference between pure substances and mixtures. Pure substances and mixtures. First one, pure substance consists of a single type of substances. Mixtures is consist of two or more pure substances. Pure substances can't be separated into other substances by physical method. Mixtures can be separated into its components by physical methods. Third one, pure substances has its own defined properties. Mixtures shows the properties of its components. Types of mixtures. There are two types. First one, homogeneous mixtures. Second one, heterogeneous mixtures. First one, homogeneous mixtures. It is the mixture in which the components are uniformly distributed throughout its volume and can't be seen separately. For example, tea, fruit juice, medicines, honey, milk, and blood. The second one is heterogeneous mixtures. It is the mixture in which the components are not uniformly distributed throughout its volume and can be easily seen separately. For example, ice in water, soup in noodles, roasted candles, roasted dry fruits, soil, oil in water. Difference between the homogeneous mixtures and heterogeneous mixtures. Homogeneous mixtures, these are called as solutions. Heterogeneous mixtures, these are called as suspensions or colloids. Homogeneous mixtures, substances are uniformly distributed. Heterogeneous mixtures, these are substances are unevenly distributed. Homogeneous mixtures, these are not visible to the naked eye but visible through the microscope. Heterogeneous mixtures, these are easily visible to the naked eye and also through microscope. Homogeneous mixtures, the particulars appear smaller in size. Heterogeneous mixtures, the particulars are either smaller or larger in size. Homogeneous mixtures, these are pure substances. Heterogeneous mixtures, these are not pure substances. Homogeneous mixtures, they represent same physical properties. Heterogeneous mixtures, they don't possess same physical properties. Homogeneous mixtures examples include milk, gasoline, sugar solution, corn oil, fog, and etc. Heterogeneous mixtures examples are mixtures of mud and water, beach and sand, vinegar, air, and etc. Solutions, the homogeneous mixtures of two or more substances from which we cannot separate its components by the process of filtration is called a solution. Solutions can be in the form of solids, liquids, or gases. A solution has minimum two components, a solvent and a solute. The components of the solution that dissolves the other components in it, usually the components present in the larger quantity, is called solvent. The components of solution that is dissolved in the solvent, usually the component present in the lesser quality, is called solute. A solution of sugar is prepared by dissolving the sugar in water. In this, sugar is the solute and water is the solvent. In the solution of iodine, alcohol is the solute and alcohol is the solvent. All the aerated drinks or liquid solution containing carbon dioxide as solute and water as a solvent. Properties of a solution, they don't separate into layers over time. If they are poured through a filter, none of the substances will get the trapped. Light process through them. All of the particulars in a solution are too small to become separated. Filter out or scatter light. Solution concentration. Solution concentration is the measure of how much solute is dissolved in a specific amount of solvent. Solution can be described qualitatively using words concentrated and dilute. A concentrated solution would have a lot of solute compared to the amount of solvent. A dilute solution would have very little solute compared to the amount of solvent. Dilute to concentrated. Preparation of a saturated and unsaturated solution. Take 50 ml of water in an empty cup. Add 1 spoon of sugar to the water in the cup and stir until it dissolves. Keep on adding sugar to the cup and stir till no more sugar can be dissolved in it. How many spoons of sugar is added? Adding sugar to water when no more solute can be dissolved in the solution at a certain temperature, it is said to be a saturated solution. In a saturated solution, equilibrium with the undissolved solute at a certain temperature. If the amount of solute present in a solution is less than that in the saturated solution is called an unsaturated solution. Now take the solution prepared by you into a beaker and heat it slowly by 5 to 6 degrees centigrade above the room temperature. The undissolved solute dissolves. Add some more sugar to this solution. You notice that more sugar dissolves in it easily when it is heated. Adding more sugar to water. Find out whether this is true for the salt solution also. Concentration of a solution. The concentration of a solution is the amount of solute present in a given amount of the solvent or solution. Concentration of solution is equal to amount of solute by amount of solvent or amount of solute by amount of solution. The concentration of a solution can be expressed as mass by mass percentage or as mass by volume percentage. Mass by mass percentage of volume is equal to mass of solute by mass of solution into 100. Mass of by volume percentage of a solution is equal to mass of solute by volume of solution into 100. Problems. A solution contains 50 grams of common salt in 200 grams of water. Calculate the concentration in terms of mass by mass percentage of the solution. Solution. Mass of the solute is salt is equal to 50 grams. Mass of solvent is water is equal to 200 grams. Mass of solution is equal to mass of solute plus mass of solvent. That means salt plus water. This is equal to 50 grams plus 200 grams is equal to 250 grams. Mass percentage of a solution is equal to mass of solute by mass of solution into 100, that is equal to 50 by 250 into 100, that is equal to 20%. Determine the mass by mass percentage concentration of a 100 gram salt solution which contains 20 grams salt. Mass of solute is equal to 20 grams. Mass of solution 100 grams. Mass percentage composition is equal to mass of solute by mass of solution into 100, that is equal to 20 by 100 into 100, that is equal to 20%. Calculate the concentration in terms of mass by volume percentage of the solution containing 2.5 grams potassium chloride in 50 ml of potassium chloride solution. Mass of potassium chloride is equal to 2.5 grams. Volume of solution is equal to 50 ml. Therefore, mass by volume percentage of the solution is equal to mass of solute by volume of solution into 100, that is equal to 2.5 by 50 into 100, that is equal to 5%. Describe an experiment to identify suspensions and colloids. Take some chalk powder in a test tube. Take a few drops of milk in another test tube. Add water to these samples and stir with a glass rod. Now do the following steps and write your observation in the table given. Step 1. Direct a beam of light from a torch or a laser beam of the test tubes. Observe the path of the light through the solutions. Step 2. Leave the mixtures undisturbed for some time. See whether the solute settles down after some time. Step 3. Filter the mixtures and observe any residue found on the filter paper. Now read your observation. Mixtures is the path of the beam of light, beam of visible. Did solute settle down? Yes or no? Residue is seen on the filter paper. Yes or no? Observation. In the chalk mixtures, the particles of chalk settled at the bottom of the test tube on a filtration. We can observe a residue on the filter paper. Hence, the chalk mixture is a suspension. In the milk mixture, the particles of milk are uniformly spread throughout the mixture and no residue is found on the filter paper. Hence, milk mixture is a colloidal solution. Suspensions. Suspensions is a heterogeneous mixture of a solid and a liquid in which the solid particles does not dissolve but remain suspended in the mixture. These suspended particles are visible to the naked eye. Colloids. Colloids are heterogeneous mixtures in which the particular size is too small to be seen with the naked eye but is big enough to scatter light. Examples of colloids. Colloids is a Mixes of two phases of matter, emulsion, aerosols, smoke, fog, forms, gels, milk, clouds. Examples: gel and foam, clouds, milk. Colloid solutions are heterogeneous in nature and always consist of at least two phases, the dispersive phase and the dispersion medium. Dispersive phase is the substance that is present in a small proportion and consists of particulars of colloidal solution 1 nanometer to 100 nanometer. Dispersion medium is the medium in which the colloidal particles are dispersed. These two phases can be in the form of solid, liquid, or a gas. Thus, different types of colloidal solution are possible depending upon the physical states of the two phases. Observe the table. Examples of dispersion medium and dispersed phase. Dispersion medium, dispersed phase, colloidal type. Example: dispersion medium gas, dispersed phase liquid, colloid type aerosol. Example: fog, clouds, mist. Dispersion medium and second one gas, dispersed phase solid, colloidal type aerosol. Example: smoke, automobile, exhaust. Dispersion medium liquid, dispersed phase gas, colloidal type form. Example: shaving cream. Dispersion medium liquid, dispersed phase liquid, colloidal type emulsion. Examples: milk, face cream. Dispersion medium liquid, dispersion phase solid, colloidal type soil. Example: mud, milk of magnesia. Dispersion medium solid, dispersion phase gas, colloidal type form. Examples: foam, rubber, sponge, premier stones. Dispersion medium solid, dispersed phase liquid, colloidal type gel. Example: jelly, cheese, butter. Dispersion medium solid, dispersed phase solid, colloidal type solid soul. Examples: colored gemstones, milky glass. Tyndall effect. A scattering of a beam of light is called the Tyndall effect, named after the scientist who discovered it. You may observe this effect in your day-to-day life when a fine beam of light enters a room through a small hole or slit. You can try to see the Tyndall effect at your home. Atoms are molecules which are exposed to light energy and exist some part of the light energy in different direction is called scattering of light. Select a room temperature where, where the sunlight falls directly through a window. Close the windows in such a way that a slit is left open between the windows. Don't close completely. You can also observe this phenomena while walking on a road having a lot of trees on both sides. When the sunlight passes through branches and leaves, you see the path of dust particles. Try to observe the Tyndall effect in kitchen. The smoke from the stove is exposed to the sunlight. Did you ever observe this phenomena in the cinema halls? Have you ever got an opportunity of going through deep forest? If you go through deep forest, you can observe. When sunlight passes through the can, can of a denser forest, mist contains tiny droplets of water which act as particles of collide dispersed in air. Is ice cream a collides? Ice cream is made by churning of a mixture of milk, sugar, and flavors. This mixture is slowly chilled to form ice cream. The churning process disperses air bubbles into the mixture by forming and break up the large ice crystals into tiny particles. The result is a complex substance which contains solids, milk fats and milk proteins, liquids, water, and gases, air bubbles. Properties of suspensions and colloids. Suspensions. Suspensions are heterogeneous mixtures. Colloids. Colloids are heterogeneous mixtures. And second one. Suspension. The particulars of suspensions can be seen with naked eyes. And second one. Colloids. The size of particulars of colloids are too small to be seen by naked eyes. Suspensions, third one. The particles of suspension scatter a beam of light passing through it and make its path visible. Colloids. The particles of colloids are big enough to scatter of light passing through it, which makes its paths visible. Suspension. The solute particles scatter down when a suspension is kept in undisturbed. When the particles scatter down, it does not scatter light anymore. Collides. The particles does not settle down when the collide left undisturbed, that is collide is quite stable. Suspension. Suspensions is unstable. The components can be separated from the mixture by the process. Collides. The components can't be separated from the mixtures by the process of filtration of or filtration or decantation. Centrifugation techniques is used in separation. Separation of mixtures by sublimation. Observe the figure separating ammonium chloride and salt. Aim to separate ammonium chloride from the mixture of ammonium chloride and common salt. Material required: china dish, fuel, cotton, ammonium chloride, common salt, and stove. Procedure: take 1 tablespoon of ammonium chloride and 1 tablespoon of common salt and mix them. Take the mixtures in a china dish. Take a glass funnel. Plug the mouth of the funnel with cotton. Invert the funnel over the dish. Heat the dish on the stove and observe the falls of the funnel. Observation: initially, we find vapors of ammonium chloride and then solidified ammonium chloride on the walls of the funnel. Process of evaporation of water. Observe the figure. Aim to separate the components of ink by evaporation method. Material required: ink, beaker, water, watch glass, and stove. Procedure: take a beaker and fill it with water to off its volume. Keep a watch glass on the mouth of beaker. Put few drops of ink on watch glass and heat the beaker. We observe some fumes coming from the watch glass. Finally, the liquid parts of the ink evaporates, leaving a residue on watch glass. This residue is dye present in the ink. Chromatography. Chromatography is a laboratory technique for the separation of mixtures into its individual components. We can see chromatography to separate components in ink. The process can also be used to separate the colored pigments in plants and flowers. It is used to determine the composition of mixtures. Paper chromatography lab activity. Aim: separating the components of ink using paper chromatography. Material required: beaker, rectangular shaped filter paper, black mark, water, pencil, and cellotape. Observe the figure. Procedure: draw a thick line just above the bottom of the filter paper using the marker. Pour some water in the beaker and hand the paper strip with the help of a pencil and cellotape in such a way that it should just touch the surface of water as shown in figure. Make sure that the ink line or mark does not touch the water. Allow the water to move up the paper for 5 minutes and then remove the strip from paper. Let, let it dry. What colors did you observe in the black ink sample? Take two more paper strips and markers as samples and do the experiment. Do the colors occur in the same order and in the same location on all the samples? Instead of non-permanent marker, use a permanent marker. What will you observe? Now touch the marker line to marker. What will you notice? Instead of thick line, draw a thick line on the paper strip with a non-permanent marker. Will your result changes in each cases? Separation of immiscible and miscible liquids. Miscible liquids. A liquid is said to be miscible if it dissolves completely in another liquid. Immiscible liquids. An immiscible liquid is one which does not dissolve but forms a layer over another liquid and can be separated easily. Separation of immiscible liquids. Separating fuel. Observe the figure. Aim: to separate the immiscible liquids, oil and water. Material required: kerosene oil, water, beaker, separating fuel. Procedure: a separating fuel of a suitable capacity is taken. The mixtures of oil and water is poured in it and stopped. The fuel is left undisturbed for some time. We can observe clearly the two liquids separated by a boundary. Open the stop clock of the separating fuel and pour out the lower layer of water carefully. The stop clock is closed when the oil reaches the stop clock. This oil is collected in a dry beaker. Principles of separation. The immiscible liquids separate out into layers based on their densities. Observe the figure drops of diesel on wet road. Did you observe in your village how castor oil is prepared by boiling castor seeds? If not, ask your parents and teacher. Diesel is immiscible in water. The bring rainbow patterns seen often during rainy season when the diesel drops fall on the road or the result of thin film of diesels on water. Distillation. Distillation is used to in the separation of components of a mixture containing two miscible liquids whose boiling points have a large difference greater than 25 degrees. Separation of two miscible liquids by distillation process. Observe the figure separating the mixtures of acetone and water by distillation. Acetone and water can be separated by simple distillation as their boiling points differ by more than 25 degrees. Acetone boiling points 56.2 degrees, water boiling points 100 degrees centigrades. Aim to separate two miscible liquids by distillation. Material required: sand, distillation flask, acetone, water, beaker, stove. Procedure: the mixture of acetone and water is taken in a distillation flask. The flask is filled with a thermometer and arranged to a stand. A consider is attached to the side tube of the flask, the other end of which is kept on a collecting flask. The mixture is heated slowly, observing the mercury level in the thermometer. Acetone vapors at its boiling points and collects in the receiver. The temperature remains steady. When the temperature begins to rise, the collecting flask is removed, heating stopped. Acetone collects in the receiver and water remains in the distillation flask. Thus, acetone is separated from water from their mixtures. Fractional distillation. Fractional distillation process is used to separate two or more miscible liquids when the difference in their boiling points is less than 25 degrees. The apparatus used for fractional distillation is similar to that used for simple distillation except that a fractionating column is fixed between the distillation flask and considers. The fractionating column has glass beads which increases the surface for the vapors to cool and condenses. Fractionation distillation is used for separating the components of petroleum, separating the different gases from air and etc. Fractionation distillation. How can we obtain different gases from air? We have learnt that air is a homogeneous mixture. Can it be separated into its components? Let us see the follow chart which gives the steps of the process. Air compressed and cooled by increasing pressure and decreasing temperature. Liquid air allowed to warm up slowly in fractionation distillation column. Gases get separated at different temperature. Points oxygen, argon, nitrogen. Boiling points oxygen minus 183 degrees. Argon boiling points minus 186 degrees centigrade. Nitrogen boiling points minus 196 degrees centigrade. Percentage air by volume oxygen 20.9. Argon percentage air by volume 0.9. Nitrogen percentage air by volume 78.1. Flow chart show the process of obtain gases from air. Observe the figure. Separation of compounds of air. If you want oxygen gas from air, we have to separate out all the other gases present in the air. The air is compressed by increasing the pressure and is then cooled by decreasing the temperature to get liquid air. This liquid air is allowed to warm up slowly in a fractionation distillation column where gases are separated at different temperature depending upon their boiling points. Difference between the mixers and components. Mixers and compounds. Mixer elements or compounds just mix together to form a mixture and no new compound is formed. Compounds elements react to form new compounds. Mixture a mixture has a variable composition. Compounds the composition of each new substance is always fixed. Mixers. A mixers show the properties of the constituent substance. Compounds. The new substance has totally different properties. Mixers. The constituents can be separated fairly easily by physical method. Components. The constituents can be separated only by chemical or electrochemical reactions. Elements. Elements have been used since the early days of civilization. Metals such as iron, lead, copper helped in the development of civilization. For thousands of years, all chemists up to and including Isaac Newton attempted to unearth new elements and study their properties. Henning Brand, a German alchemist, boiled urine to discover phosphorus in 1669, but it was not until the late 18th century that our knowledge of the elements really took off as chemists developed new ways to purify and isolated elements. Sir Humphrey Davy was extremely successful in discovering many elements sodium, magnesium, boron, chlorine, and many more. Robert Boyle used the term elements and Lavoisier was the first to establish a useful definition of elements. He defined an element as a basic form of matter that can't be broken down into simpler forms by chemical reaction. If any substance can be separated into two or more constituent parts by a chemical reaction, that substance is definitely a compound. Improve your learning. Explain the following giving examples. A. Short-Rider solution. B. Pure substance. C. Colloid. D. Suspension. And second one, how could you confirm that a colorless liquid given to you is pure water? How could you confirm that a colorless liquid given to you is pure water? Third one, which of the following material fall in the category of a pure substance? Reason. A. Ice. B. Milk. C. Iron. D. Hydrochloric acid. E. Calcium oxide. F. Mercury. G. Brick. H. Wood. I. Air. Fourth one, identify the solution among the following mixtures. A. Soil. B. Seawater. C. Air. D. Coal. E. Soda water. Fifth one, classify each of the following as a homogeneous or heterogeneous mixtures given reason. Soda water, wood, air, soil, vinegar, filtered tea. Sixth question, which of the following will show Tyndall effect? How can you demonstrate Tyndall effect in them? A. Salt solution. B. Milk. C. Copper sulfate solution. D. Starch solution. Seventh question, take a solution, a suspension, a colloidal dispersion in different beakers. Test whether each of these mixtures shows the Tyndall effect by focusing a light at the side of the containers. Eighth question, draw the figure of arrangement of apparatus for distillation and fractionation distillation. What do you find the major difference in this apparatus? Eighth question, write the steps you could use for making tea. Use the words given below and write the steps for making tea. Solution, solvent, solute, dissolve, soluble, insoluble, filtrated, and residue.